Hey guys! No, it's still the presenter voice. Oh my god! Oh. I don't know how to get rid of this presenter voice, man. So annoying, and it's even more annoying when you're doing it and it just comes out. Just happens.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because...
Yo. Anyway. Hello, hi, welcome. My name is Lauren and this channel is all about remote work, location independence, freelance writing and travel, all that finger-licking good stuff. Don't know why this KFC reference has popped up, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna roll with it. So in today's video, as you can see by the title, we are going to be talking about some of the best websites for freelance writers. These are the websites which I think are the creme de la creme, the chef kiss of where to find work as a freelance writer online. But make sure that you stay until the end, because while these sites are definitely gold mines, you can't only rely on them. As they say in RuPaul's Drag Race,
stop relying on that body.
And that is the same with freelance writing. You cannot only rely on these freelance writing sites to get work, and I will tell you why and what you can do at the end. But in the meantime, let's get into this video. Okay, so the first website that I'm going to talk about is my absolute favorite. It's my boo thing. It is the #1 site that I check when I am needing to go and find a client, and it is the site which has helped me land some of my biggest freelance writing contracts to date, and also the reason why I currently write for the one, the only Neil Patel, and that is Problogger. So Problogger is a fantastic site. You'll find a whole bunch of job listings for a variety of niches, which is really great. I love that website, and if you are a new freelance writer who is looking to land your first client, or even if you are a seasoned freelance writer and you have availability in your calendar, I would highly recommend that you start checking Problogger every single day for new job listings and applying to the ones that are most relevant to your freelance writing niche. And when you do find a gig that is calling to your soul, it is exactly what you want to spend your time writing about, then you can either apply on the website. Like some of the gigs will have like a little thing for you to put in all your details, write your cover letter, attach a CV, or some of the people will ask you to email them directly or even fill out a type form. So always remember to read through the entire job posting to see how you are supposed to apply. And remember, this is why you need to have good cover letter or pitching skills, because you are not the only writer who has seen that job listing. It's super competitive and you really need to know how to make yourself stand out. And if you would like some free pitching tips, and if you would like some pitching tips from me, be sure to watch this video over here. So if you are new here or you don't really know much about my whole freelance writing journey, I am a travel writer and I'm also a digital marketing freelance writer. So if you are wanting to get into the travel niche like myself, I would highly recommend that you sign up for Matador Network's community thing. Aha! Matador creators, that's what it's called. Okay, basically what happens is that Matador Network themselves will post gigs or like stories that they want to write, and they're looking for contributors to write those posts. That is how I actually got my byline in Matador Network. They were looking for people to write stories about
the devil's letters
in different countries, and I got to write about
the devil's letters
in South Africa. Yay me! But it's also not only Matador themselves that post jobs or gigs on there. You also get like a few outsider travel type companies or even hotel brands that also post positions. Sometimes they're just looking for creators to, you know, go to a hotel and create a whole bunch of content, or they're looking for travel journalists to go report on a story on a destination somewhere in the world. So the next site is a little bit different. It's not somewhere where you would go to find a job per se. It's called Who Pays Writers, and it's basically a list, a beautiful resource of all the different publications that pay writers for submission. So this is really great if you know you're looking to get published in like online magazines or like online blogs, you're looking for guest posts, all that good stuff. You can go there, you can see what's available in your freelance writing niche, and then you can start pitching stories to these publications. A great thing about the site is that they also post the publications per word rates, so you can see how much you could potentially make from an accepted submission with these different publications. And also, you know, your pitch isn't guaranteed to be accepted, so you have to make sure that your pitch is like juicy enough for them to accept it and want to have it in their publication so that you can get that coin, sis.
Stop it. Get some help.
So the next place to find work as a freelance writer is on LinkedIn. If you've never perused the platform before, they have an entire job section. You can filter things by like location, you know, like by job title, industry, all that fun stuff, and then you can see which companies are actively hiring writers. Now, here is the catch. Most of the time, these gigs will be location dependent, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can't apply. I would say that it's worth trying to see if they would be open to hiring a writer who is location independent, because, I mean, what the Pandorama has shown us is that you definitely don't need your employees in the office to watch them for them to be able to do their work. So I do feel like there is more opportunity out there now to kind of sway people's opinions to go with the more remote staff model rather than the in-office boring vibes that we have been subjected to over the last couple of decades. Now, the way for you to get this right is to, number one, you want to make sure that you have a solid pitch, but you also want to make sure that your LinkedIn profile is optimized for that ideal client. You don't want your LinkedIn profile to be, you know, talking about your glorious experience in retail and nothing really about freelance writing. You want to make sure that your entire LinkedIn profile is 100% catered to showing a potential client who clicks on your name that you are the shit when it comes to your freelance writing niche.
Because I am what? Sickening.
Put yourself out there, make that opportunity for yourself, and see what happens. And who knows, you could land a freelance writing gig on LinkedIn that way. And before we start this LinkedIn section, another really great thing about optimizing your LinkedIn profile for your freelance writing niche is that if someone is searching for a freelance writer and your profile is optimized for what they're looking for, you're going to come out at the top of those search results. They're going to click onto your name and then possibly reach out to you and want to hire you as a freelance writer directly without you even having to apply for a job. And this actually has worked for me in the past. I was offered a gig to go work in Zambia as a writer for this one lodge for a month, and I got to stay in South Luanga National Park, and it was an amazing experience, and I wouldn't have known about it if it was not for that client reaching out to me on LinkedIn. So it is possible, I promise you. So what we're going to talk about next is slightly controversial. There's a lot of thoughts and opinions swimming around on YouTube. I've even made a video about one of these sites before. What I am talking about are the Holy Trinity, or the Unholy Trinity really, of Upwork, FAVE, and Freelancer.com, and maybe Guru.
Girl, the shade of it all.
So the main problem with these sites, right, is that they are content mills. A lot of freelancers will talk about the fact that it's really hard to find high-paying clients on these sites, and that is true to an extent. But I can tell you in personal experience, I have also found high-paying clients. At the moment on Upwork, I have one client, and that one client brings in $800 into my business every single month, which is amazing. But that's not to say that there aren't some serious pitfalls when it comes to using sites like Upwork and FAVE and all that stuff. Now, with Upwork, they take a cut of my pay, so I am not getting $800 exactly by the time it gets into my bank account, because I have to pay Upwork, right? Twice.
I pay them a percentage of what I earn, then they charge me to take my money out of Upwork, and then also PayPal takes a cut, and then my bank takes a cut.
So lots of people are touching my money Because what happens now, this didn't happen when, because I've been on Upwork for like, I think since 2015, when it was back in its early days then, you didn't have to pay to bid on gigs. Now you do, so you have to pay to apply for a job, which is not a vibe, especially if you are a new freelancer and you don't have a lot of money to play around with. If a client invites me to a job, that is the only way like I will get work through that platform, which is also why I only have this one legacy client at the moment and I'm not actively trying to get work on there. But saying all that, if you have money to buy credits to bid on jobs, it is possible to find clients on Upwork that will pay you well. Also, you want to make sure that your Upwork profile is also optimized for what you do, so when people are typing in all those juicy keywords about what they're looking for a freelance writer, your profile comes up at the top of those search results. So as I mentioned earlier, you can't only rely on these job sites to find work, and the reason that you can't do that is because these websites could close down tomorrow. You know, you could say goodbye Problogger, goodbye Upwork, and goodbye LinkedIn. So what do you do to prevent that from happening? Because you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. You don't want the only way that you're getting clients to come from one income source, because that makes you very vulnerable. It makes your business very vulnerable. You want to diversify. One of the best ways that you can do this is by using cold emailing or pitching to your ideal clients. So this is when, you know, you'll go into their inbox and you'll send them a glorious email about how amazing you are, how you can help them, and you pitch your services. And what that does is it helps you get in front of all the competition, and it helps you also pitch to your ideal client, because you are choosing exactly who you want to work for when you are cold emailing and pitching these companies that are your vibe. And it also stops you relying on other people to create opportunities for yourself, because on these job boards,
you're waiting for some company to, realize that they need a writer, go through all the admin of creating a job post and posting it on there, and then you seeing that job board at the right time, and then applying and then making sure your application is the strongest.
There's a lot of points in that little timeline where things could go awry and that you don't get the job. So when you are not relying on other people to make these opportunities for yourself, that puts you in an empowered position, because you're approaching these people that you want to work with and you're like, hey, I'm awesome, hire me. That puts you in a position of empowerment, and you are not reliant on other people to give you opportunities. You're creating them for yourself. And if you feel like you need some help with your pitching, I have an entire masterclass which goes into detail about how I pitch to brands as an influencer, as well as how I pitch my services on job boards and when I am cold emailing potential clients to get work. I break down my entire process. There are pitching templates. So if you want to check it out, it's called Pitch Perfect Toolkit. The link is in the description below. And if you're curious about how you can create a contract for your potential clients in basically under 60 seconds, then you're definitely going to want to turn on those bell notifications and subscribe, because that is what next week's video is going to be all about. And well, not next week, 2 weeks. I post every 2 weeks on this channel. And in the meantime, if you want to binge watch some of my other content for freelance writers, make sure that you check out this video over here and this video over here. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I will check you in the next one. Cheers!